This is the story of a visit to Adelaide, followed by a visit to the Flinders Ranges, to drive some station 4-wheel drive tracks with locals. We will share our experiences with you as we travel through this part of Australia. This was one of our first trips since selling our caravan and changing to motel accommodation when traveling. SkyTrek at Willow Springs Station is a 135-kilometre drive from Quorn. Willow Springs is a sheep station, but SkyTrek is a very significant part of their business, as is camping. The station offers cabin, homestead and shearers' quarters accommodation as well. A full-width sealed road leads to the station gate, where the dust starts. An early start got is there by mid-morning. The station covers 70,000 acres of typical Flinders Ranges country. There are highs and lows and driving challenges. 4-wheel drive vehicles and off-road experience are essentials. The full trek is about 80 kilometers and takes between 7 and 8 hours to complete. The trek follows streams, ravines and ridges around the lower areas before climbing to one of the highest points in that part of the ranges. Some of the dry creek crossings were a bit interesting, with a bit of road reconstruction necessary. Not far from the start of the trek, near the road, Aboriginal petrographs decorate rock faces in a small gorge. We stopped and inspected them. Always interesting. Followed the dry watercourse, hanging back a bit to minimize dust. A couple of kilometers on we came to rocks that look like ripples in sand, thought to be part of the old inland seabed. Conditions were on full display, but a few sheep seemed to be successfully defying the odds. A few kilometers further along we came to a broad clearing, with a restored stockman's hut, partially furnished. We made this our coffee stop, as there were basic toilet facilities. There is an accommodation hut in this area. Before driving on we did a steady 360 turn so that you can see all around. I can put up with quite a bit of driving these tracks. I love this rugged terrain and particularly the jump-up hills and the rocky mountains in the distance. I didn't capture it on video, but there was a bit of road repair required to provide traction out of rough areas of this part of the track. Shortly after, we passed some distinct footprints of a dingo on the road. As was the case yesterday, a picnic area had been provided at about where you would be at lunchtime. There were few vehicles on the track today, so no competition for the table. A steep climb from the creek bed required some stacking of rocks to provide traction. These ranges are part of the Bunkers Conservation Reserve. They were worth a stop for a closer look. This reserve shares a common boundary with Willow Springs Station. The area is home to the endangered yellow-footed rock wallaby. Cattle and sheep stations mean gates to open and close. Etiquette dictates that you leave them as you find them. The nearest scrap yard is a long way off, so old equipment tends to be left where last used. This grader's main claim to fame was its part in building the Blimman Golf Course, about 70 kilometers further north. Ochre is used by Aboriginal people for body painting. There was no shortage of it here. And if there are loose rocks, why not build a pyramid? Somewhere on this section of the trek, while driving in high range, we lost ability to select low range. This changed the later part of the day, as we had to abort the high section of the track. Sad, but at least there is a chicken out alternative to get us home. Another picnic table provided an elevated base for a panorama. The terrain was becoming mountainous as we approached the high section, so we reluctantly took the alternative track. Back to the track. We joined the outward track about 2 kilometers from the starting point for the day, at the office for trek and camping. The cause of the loss of low range was that a small component, at the bottom of the range shift lever, had broken, quite quick and inexpensive to fix. We were sorry that we missed the high part of the track. That was possibly the best part, certainly with the best views and most testing of driving skill. But we were pleased with what we were able to do, so returned to Quorn with a feeling of achievement.